Program of Action 1992. The Program of Action 1992 includes education for women equality, education for scheduled caste, scheduled tribe and other backward section, minorities education, education of the handicapped, adult and continuing education, early childhood care and education, elementary education, secondary education, Navodaya Vidyalaya, vocational education, higher education, open education, delinking degrees from job and manpower planning, rural universities and institutes, technical and management education, research and development, the cultural perspective, development of language, media and education technology, sports, physical education and youth, evaluation process and examination reforms, teachers and the training, management of education. Introduction. When National Policy on Education 1986 began to be implemented in country, it was opposed by non-Congress parties, but then Prime Minister Sri Rajiv Gandhi continued with its implementation. 1986 പ്രധാനമന്ത്രി രാജീവ് ഗാന്ധിയുടെ നേതൃത്വത്തിൽ ദേശീയ വിദ്യാഭ്യാസ നയം അംഗീകരിച്ചു. വിദ്യാഭ്യാസ മേഖലയിലെ വിവിധ പ്രശ്നങ്ങൾ പരിഹരിക്കാനും കാര്യമായ പരിഷ്കാരങ്ങൾ കൊണ്ടുവരാനും നയം ലക്ഷ്യമിട്ടു. NPE 1986 നടപ്പിലാക്കുന്നത് കോൺഗ്രസ് ഇതര പാർട്ടികളിൽ നിന്ന് എതിർപ്പ് നേരിട്ടു. അവർ അതിലെ വ്യവസ്ഥകളെയോ അത് നടപ്പിലാക്കുന്ന രീതികളെയോ വിമർശിച്ചു. ഈ എതിർപ്പ് വകവയ്ക്കാതെ പ്രധാനമന്ത്രി എന്ന നിലയിൽ രാജീവ് ഗാന്ധി ഈ നയം നടപ്പിലാക്കുന്നത് തുടർന്നു. 1990 മെയ് മാസത്തിൽ NPE 1986 അവലോകനം ചെയ്യുന്നതിനും പരിഷ്കാരങ്ങൾ ശുപാർശ ചെയ്യുന്നതിനുമായി ആചാര്യ റാംമൂർത്തി അധ്യക്ഷനായ ഒരു കമ്മിറ്റി രൂപീകരിച്ചു. നയവുമായി ബന്ധപ്പെട്ട് വിവിധ പങ്കാളികളിൽ നിന്നുള്ള ആശങ്കകളും നിർദ്ദേശങ്ങൾക്ക് മറുപടിയായാണ് ഈ നീക്കം. 1990 നവംബറിൽ ശ്രീ ചന്ദ്രശേഖർ പ്രധാനമന്ത്രിയായി. നേതൃമാറ്റമുണ്ടായിട്ടും രാമമൂർത്തി കമ്മിറ്റിയുടെ പ്രവർത്തനം തുടരാനും റിപ്പോർട്ട് സമർപ്പിക്കാനും അദ്ദേഹം അനുവദിച്ചു. സമിതിയുടെ റിപ്പോർട്ട് 1990 ഡിസംബർ 26 അവതരിപ്പിച്ചു. അടുത്ത സർക്കാർ മാറുന്ന സമയത്ത് റാംമൂർത്തി കമ്മിറ്റിയുടെ റിപ്പോർട്ട് പാർലമെന്റിൽ ചർച്ചയും പരിഗണനയും കാത്തുകിടക്കുകയായിരുന്നു. കോൺഗ്രസ് പാർട്ടി അധികാരത്തിൽ തിരിച്ചെത്തിയപ്പോൾ അവലോകന പ്രക്രിയയ്ക്ക് മുമ്പ് വിഭാവനം ചെയ്തതുപോലെ NPE 1986 അതിന്റെ യഥാർത്ഥ രൂപത്തിൽ നടപ്പിലാക്കാൻ ലക്ഷ്യമിട്ടിരുന്നു. റാംമൂർത്തി കമ്മിറ്റിയുടെ റിപ്പോർട്ട് സാധ്യമായ ഭേദഗതികൾ നിർദ്ദേശിച്ചു. The report was yet to be debated in the parliament when once again Congress came into power and wanted to implement NPE 1986. The Central Advisory Board of Education was constituted, chaired by Sri N. Janardhan Reddy. The committee's report submitted in January 1992 provided recommendations for educational reforms. Thereafter, HRD Minister Sri Arjun Singh presented the revised National Policy on Education in Parliament in May 1992. The revised policy aimed to address various issues in the education sector, including higher education and professional education. To establish standardized all India entrance examination for admission into professional and technical programs. To ensure uniformity and fairness in the admission process across different institutions and states. Provide equal opportunity to all students regardless of their geographical location. Creates a uniform benchmark for evaluating candidates. Simplifies the admission process by reducing the number of different entrance tests. Coordinating with various education institutions, ensuring the examination's fairness and transparency. The implementation of the Common Entrance Examination was a key aspect of the POA 1992, aimed at reforming the admission process for professional and technical education in India. The objective of the Policy of Action 1992 as a part of revised National Policy on Education 1992 emphasized the role of education in addressing various societal issues and promoting equity, correcting social and regional balances, to reduce disparity in educational access and quality between different social and regional groups, implemented programs to enhance educational opportunities in underdeveloped and marginalized regions, allocate resources and infrastructure to regions with lower educational attainment, empowering women to promote gender equality and enhance educational and economic opportunities for women, develop educational programs specifically designed to support and uplift women, create support systems such as scholarships and mentorship to encourage women's participation in all educational levels, securing a rightful place for the disadvantaged. To ensure that disadvantaged groups, including economically weaker sections and marginalized communities, have equal access to education, implement affirmative action policies such as reserved seats and special scholarships, develop curricula and sensitive to the needs and perspectives of disadvantaged groups. Supporting minorities. To ensure that minority groups receive equitable educational opportunities and support, design educational programs and materials that reflect the cultural diversity of minority groups, engage with minority communities to understand their educational needs and challenges. Role of education. Education is responsible for all-round development of the individual. Education contributes to the overall development of an individual, including intellectual, emotional, and social and physical growth. Through various educational experiences, individuals develop a range of skills that enhance their abilities and potential. Education is the light of life. Education provides direction and purpose, guiding individuals through various aspects of life. It illuminates a path of understanding and solving problems, fostering critical thinking and awareness. Development of knowledge and skills. Education facilitates the ongoing acquisition of knowledge and skills, enabling individuals to adapt and thrive in a changing world. It allows individuals to specialize in various fields, contributing to personal and professional excellence. Develops international cooperation and peaceful coexistence. Education promotes awareness and appreciation of different cultures and perspectives, fostering international cooperation. By teaching values of tolerance and understanding, education helps in building peaceful relationship between diverse communities. Financial stability. Education often leads to better job prospects and higher earning potential, contributing to financial stability. Educated individuals can contribute to economic development through skilled labor and innovation. Increases self-esteem. Education fosters personal development, helping individuals build confidence and self-growth. Gaining knowledge and skills through education can lead to personal and professional accomplishments, boosting self-esteem. Ten plus 2 plus 3 structure. 10 refers to first 10 years of schooling, which include primary and secondary. 2 refers to higher secondary stage 11 to 12, often known as intermediate or pre-university education. 3 refers to undergraduate education, which typically lasts for 3 years, leading to a bachelor degree. Common structure 10 plus 2 plus 3 system provide a uniform pattern across India, ensuring that students from different regions follow the same education stages and have similar opportunities regardless of location, regardless of local variation. Next, alignment with national needs. This system is designed to meet the educational requirements of a diverse nation. It aims to ensure that the curriculum and teaching methods are relevant to the national context and aspirations, supporting the development of a skilled and knowledgeable workforce. The benefits provides a consistent education framework that facilitates mobility and comparability of educational qualifications across states, allows for adaptation to local needs while maintaining a core structure, aims to make education more accessible and equitable across different regions of India. Education for equality. Equal opportunities. This policy is designed to provide equal chances for education to everyone, ensuring that no one is disadvantaged due to their background. Navodaya schools. These schools are specially established to serve both socially and economically disadvantaged children as well as talented students. This provides high quality education and aims to nurture diverse talents and potential. Equal access and success. The goal is to create an educational environment where all children have the same access to resources and opportunities. This means ensuring that all students, regardless of their starting point, have the conditions necessary to succeed academically. Navodaya Vidyalaya Samiti. Origin. Navodaya Vidyalaya scheme was introduced as part of the National Policy on Education 1986. Approval date. The scheme was approved by the Union Cabinet Committee on August 5, 1985. Establishment. According to the scheme, one Jawahar Navodaya Vidyalaya is sanctioned for each district in India. Admission process. Students are admitted to JNVs through an all India level selection test. Initial launch. Two Jawahar Navodaya Vidyalayas were initially opened during the 1985-86 academic year as model schools. School characteristics. Jawahar Navodaya Vidyalayas are residential co-education institutions that provide modern quality education free of cost, primary catering to students from rural areas. Education for scheduled caste. Equalization of educational opportunities. The Program of Action 1992 emphasized the need to bridge the educational gap between scheduled caste and other communities. This includes efforts to ensure that SC students have equal access to educational resources and opportunities. Incentives to parents. To encourage SC families to send their children to school, the Program of Action suggests provide various incentives. These incentives aim to reduce the barriers that might prevent SC children from attending school, such as economic constraints. Support programs introduced. Scholarships. Program of Action outlined the provision of scholarships to SC students to help cover educational expenses and encourage continued schooling. Hostel facilities. To support SC students, particularly those from remote areas, hostel facilities are provided. This helps in addressing issues related to access and accommodation. Adult education program. Recognizing the importance of adult literacy, the Program of Action includes provisions for adult education programs aimed at improving literacy rates and providing skills training for scheduled caste adults. These measures collectively aim to improve educational outcome for scheduled caste by addressing financial, logistical, and systematic barriers. Women education. Special emphasis on women education. The Program of Action 1992 underscores the importance of women education as crucial for national progress. It recognizes that educating women is fundamental to the development and advancement of society. Women as key to national progress. The policy acknowledges that women play a pivotal role in the nation's development. By empowering women through education, the overall growth and prosperity of the country can be significantly enhanced. Priority areas in education. Addressing illiteracy. Special attention is given to reducing illiteracy among women through various educational programs. Vocational curriculum. Vocational training is emphasized to equip women with practical skills for employment and economic independence. Nutrition and child care. Courses related to nutrition and child care are prioritized to improve the well-being of families and contribute to healthier communities. Home management. Education in home management is included to enhance women's ability to manage household responsibilities effectively. Education for tribes. The policy gave main emphasis to the education of tribes. Residential ashram schools. These schools are established to provide a supportive environment for tribal students, often in their own communities or nearby areas, to ensure they receive education in a setting that respects and incorporates their cultural values. Scholarships. Financial support is provided to tribal students to pursue higher education, helping to reduce barriers related to cost and access. Curriculum and study material. The curriculum and educational materials are developed in the languages spoken by the tribal communities. This ensures that education is relevant and accessible to students, allowing them to learn in their native language and better connect with the content. Adult education. Adult schools. These are institutions designed specially for adult learners. They offer flexible learning schedules and curricula tailored to adult education needs. Adult schools aim to provide basic literacy skills, including reading, writing, and arithmetic, along with practical skills needed for daily life and employment. Libraries. Library plays a crucial role in adult education by providing access to educational materials and resources. Distance education. This method allows learners to study without being physically present in a traditional classroom. TV programs. Educational television programs are used to reach a wider audience, particularly those who may not have access to formal educational institutions. Expanding outreach. Implementing initiatives to reach marginalized and underserved population, ensuring inclusivity. Leveraging various resources, including community involvement, to support adult education programs. The National Literacy Mission. In line with the Program of Action 1992, sought to integrate these strategies to create a comprehensive framework for improving adult literacy and education across India. National Literacy Mission was launched by the Government of India on May 5, 1988, with the goal of eradicating illiteracy across the country. The program aims to provide functional literacy to adults who are not literate, focusing on teaching the basics: reading, writing, and arithmetic, the 3 R's. Beyond these fundamental skills, the NLM seeks to eradicate education about broader development issues affecting society, such as health, hygiene, and economic opportunities. The mission's objective is not only to make individuals self-reliant, but also to empower them with knowledge that can contribute to their personal and community development. Early childhood education. Special emphasis on early childhood care and education. Daycare centers. Establishment of daycare centers to provide quality care and education for young children. Support for various programs aimed at early childhood development. All-round development. Focus on the emotional, social, cognitive, and physical development of children during their formative years, ensuring children reach key developmental milestones through structured early education. Feeder and support for primary education. Early childhood education acts as a foundation that prepares children for the transition to primary schools. It provides the basic skills and knowledge necessary for success in primary education. Support service for working parents. Offers a support system for working parents by providing reliable and quality childcare services, enable them to balance work and family responsibilities. Education for minorities. Scheme of area intensive program for educationally backward minorities. Focus on improving educational opportunities and outcome in area with a high concentration of educationally backward minority communities. Provide targeted support for infrastructure development, teacher training, and curriculum enhancement in these regions. Aims to bridge educational gap to promote higher enrollment and retention rate among minority students. Scheme of financial assistance of modernization of madrasa education. Enhance the quality of education in madrasa education Islamic schools by modernizing the curriculum and infrastructure. Offer financial support for upgrading facilities, training teachers, and integrating contemporary subjects alongside traditional Islamic education. Aims to improve educational standards in madrasas, ensure that students receive a well-rounded education that includes both religious and secular subjects. Establishment of new schools and education centers. This includes financial support for setting up new primary and upper primary schools as well as non-formal education centers. This is crucial in areas where there is a lack of education infrastructure and aim to ensure that every child has access to basic education. Strengthening educational infrastructure. Assistance is given to improve the existing infrastructure and facilities in primary and upper primary school. This can include repair, construction of additional classroom, provision of teaching materials, and improving sanitation and drinking water facilities. Opening of multi-stream residential higher secondary schools for girls. Financial aid is provided to set up residential higher secondary schools, especially for girls from educationally backward minorities. This aims to enhance educational access and opportunities for girls who might otherwise face barriers to continuing their education beyond the primary level. Operation Blackboard is a governmental initiative aimed to improve primary school education, have the minimum essential facilities. The term operation highlights the urgency and clarity of the program objectives. The goal of Operation Blackboard includes provision of room. Each school should have at least 2 adequately sized classrooms that can be used throughout the year regardless of weather conditions. Educational materials. Schools should be equipped with necessary toys and games to support early childhood learning and development. Blackboards. Every classroom should have blackboard to facilitate teaching and learning. Map and chart. Educational map and chart should be provided to support visual learning and understanding of geographical and other concepts. Other learning materials. Additional materials necessary for effective teaching and learning should also be supplied. Primary education. Primary education or elementary education, often in primary schools or elementary schools, is typically the first stage of compulsory education. The Program of Action 1992 in India emphasized the importance of providing free and compulsory education of satisfactory quality to children up to age of 14 years. This was in response to recognition that primary education forms the foundation for all further learning and environment. The program aimed to ensure that every child received this fundamental education as a right, addressing both accessibility and quality. By the end of the 20th century, the goal was to have established a robust system that guaranteed this level of education, setting the stage for future educational reforms and advancement. Secondary education. In the context of Program of Action 1992, secondary education in India was structured to include 2 distinct phases: lower secondary, grade 9 and 10, and higher secondary 11 and 12. Lower secondary education targeted students age 14 to 16 years. Higher secondary 16 to 18 years. The program emphasized addressing educational disparities by focusing on backward classes, backward areas, enhancing access and resources in regions lagging in educational development, SC/ST community, ensuring that educational opportunities were equitable for students from scheduled caste and scheduled tribes, girls' education, improving schooling facilities and opportunities specifically for girls. The National Institute of Educational Planning and Administration (NIEPA) was tasked with overseeing and coordinating efforts to implement these strategies and ensure the effective execution of the program's goal. Occasionalization. The Program of Action 1992, Occasionalization of Education, was introduced as a key strategy to address several critical educational and employment challenges. The primary goals were to cultivate a positive work ethics among students, enhance employability, and bridge the gap between the demand and supply of skilled labor. It also aimed to offer an alternative pathway for students who may not be interested in pursuing higher education but still seek practical skills. By 1995, vocational courses were intended to be available to 10% of higher secondary schools. By 2000, the coverage was to expand to 25% of higher secondary schools. Higher education. Higher education refers to the advanced learning that occurs at institutions such as universities and colleges. Following the completion of secondary education, it encompasses undergraduate and postgraduate studies, where students pursue degree, diploma, or certificates in various fields. The Program of Action 1992 typically refers to a strategic plan or policy document developed by an educational body or government aiming to enhance or reform higher secondary education systems. This document would outline specific goals, initiatives, and actions intended to improve the quality, accessibility, and relevance of higher education in a given region or country. Higher education and open universities. Autonomous Commission. The policy recommends establishing an autonomous commission to provide guidance and drive improvements in higher education. This body would be responsible for overseeing the implementation of educational reforms, ensuring quality, and adapting policies to meet evolving needs. Open university and distance education. These educational modes are highlighted as crucial for democratizing education. They offer flexibility and adaptability, making higher education more accessible to a broader population. This is particularly beneficial for individuals who may face geographical, financial, or other barriers to traditional forms of education. The approach aims to address diverse learning needs and support lifelong learning opportunities. Technical and Management Education. All India Council for Technical Education. The AICTE is designed as the body responsible for coordinating the development of technical education across India. It ensures that technical institutions adhere to prescribed standards and guidelines aiming to maintain and enhance the quality of technical education. Emerging technologies. The policy recognizes the importance of emerging technologies for national development. It stresses the need to focus on and invest in these technologies to foster progress and innovation. Sixth Five-Year Plan Initiatives. During this plan period, 14 key areas of emerging technology were identified, such as microprocessors, environmental engineering, laser technology, and water resource management. This policy involved providing financial support to selected projects and research in these areas to advance technological capabilities and address pressing issues. The national policy on education has seen several updates over the years, each reflecting changes in the educational priorities and context of this time. Here's a brief overview of how the 2017 NPE under Narendra Modi government relates to the Program of Action 1968 First NPE. This policy aimed to address the need for a comprehensive educational system in post-independence India, focusing on improving the quality of education and promoting national integration. Next, 1986 NPE under Rajiv Gandhi. This policy emphasized the need for modernization and the introduction of new education strategies to enhance the quality of education. It also stresses the importance of education in fostering national unity. 1992 Program of Action. The Program of Action was an extension of the 1986 NPE and focused on implementing reforms related to education quality, teacher training and curriculum development. It also aimed to address disparities in education and improve access to education at all levels. 2005 NPE under Narendra Modi under Manmohan Singh. This policy aimed to build upon previous reforms by focusing on universal access to education, particularly for disadvantaged groups, and improving the quality of education through better infrastructure and teacher training. 2017 NPE under Narendra Modi. The 2017 policy sought to address the legacy of colonial education systems and propose significant reforms to create a more inclusive, holistic and skill-oriented education system. It aimed to align with the global educational standards and the needs of the 21st century. The 2017 NPE builds upon the 1992 POA by aiming for a more integrated approach to education, focusing on decolonialization of the curriculum, enhancing vocational training and fostering critical thinking and creativity. It emphasizes the need for education to be relevant to contemporary challenges and to promote holistic development. Advantages of Indian education system. Broad knowledge base. The Indian education system ensures that students receive a well-rounded education by covering a wide range of subjects. This broad approach helps students gain foundational knowledge in various disciplines, preparing them for diverse career path and life skills. Regular attendance. Schools in India emphasize regular attendance, which helps students develop discipline and consistency. Regular attendance also ensures that students are engaged with the curriculum and understand daily living concepts better, fostering a strong educational routine. Continuous assessment. The frequent examination system in India helps students regularly assess their strength and weakness. This approach encourages self-evaluation and continuous improvement as students learn to identify areas where they need to focus more and refine their skill. Conclusion. Revolutionary changes. There's growing recognition of the need for reform in the Indian education system. This includes updating curricula, improving teaching methodologies, integrating technology, and addressing regional disparities. The goal is to make education more relevant, accessible, and aligned with contemporary needs. Effective learning system. Implementing effective learning system involves adopting modern pedagogical approaches, focusing on skill development, and encouraging critical thinking. Innovations such as digital learning platform, experiential learning, and competency-based education are helping to improve educational outcome and make learning more engaging. Utilizing human resources. India has a vast and diverse population, and harnessing this human resource effectively is crucial for national development. By improving education quality and ensuring that it meets the need of a job market, India can better prepare its youth for various career opportunities, thus contributing to economic growth and social progress. Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam's vision, Dr. Kalam's vision for India 2020 emphasized a technologically advanced and self-reliant nation with high quality education as a cornerstone. The ongoing reforms aim to realize this vision by equipping students with the skills and knowledge needed to drive innovation and development in the 21st century. Who was the chairman of Review NPE 1990? Acharya Ramamurthy was the chairman to review NPE in 1990. Who was the chairman to review NPE 1991? Sri N. Janardhan Reddy was the chairman to review NPE in 1991. What do you understood by operational blackboard? Provision will be made to essential facilities in primary schools, including at least 2 reasonably large rooms that can be used in all weathers and the necessary toys, blackboards, map, chart and other learning material. At least 2 teachers, one of whom a woman, should work in every school, the number increasing as early as possible to 1 teacher per class. An Operation Blackboard, a drive will be undertaken throughout the country as a part of the primary school improvement program. Name the resources that we invited for debate for NPE approval. Thousands of students, teachers, parents, organizations, voluntary agencies, education institutions, universities, state governments, central ministries, Panchayat Samiti, Jilla Parishad participated. What were the challenges in 10 plus 2 plus 3 structure in revised NPE? The national system of education envisages a common education structure. 10 plus 2 plus 3 structure has now been accepted in all parts of the country. Regarding the further breakup of the first 10 years, efforts will be made to move towards an elementary system comprising of 5 years primary education, 3 years upper primary, followed by 2 years of high school. Efforts will also be made to have the plus 2 stage accepted as part of the school education throughout the country. What was the constitutional amendment of 1976? With the constitutional amendment of 1976, education has been placed on the concurrent list, which give the central government a bigger role in the implementation of education. In an attempt to remove inequalities in the education system, the policy emphasized the importance of special programs for marginalized groups as such women, scheduled tribes, scheduled caste, handicapped, etc. List some provisions for SCs in revised NPE. Some provisions for SCs in revised NPE are as access to secondary education will be widened with emphasis on enrollment of girls, SCs and ST, particularly in science, commerce and occasional stream. Boards of secondary education will be reorganized and vested with autonomy so that their ability to improve the quality of secondary education is enhanced. Enlist some major objectives of policy to elementary education. Some major belief objective of policy to elementary education are: policy will give high priority to solving the problems of children dropping the school and will adopt an array of meticulously formulated strategies based on micro-planning and applied at the grassroots level all over the country to ensure children's retention at school. These efforts will be fully coordinated with the network of non-formal education. It shall be ensured that free and compulsory education of satisfactory quality is provided to all children up to 14 years of age before we enter the 21st century. A national mission will be launched for the achievement of this goal. List some para which were revised in 1992. Some headings which were revised in 1992 are elementary education, secondary education, vocationalization of education, higher education. Define national system of education. The concept of national system of education implies that upon a given level, irrespective of caste, creed, location, or sex, have access to education of a comparably equality. Define minorities. Minorities are educationally deprived or backward. Define operational blackboard. What is the importance of occasionalization of education? Importance of occasionalization of education is to develop a healthy attitude among students towards work and life, to enhance individual employability, to reduce the mismatch between the demand and supply of skilled manpower, and to provide an alternative for those intending to pursue higher education without particular interest or purpose. Define National Literacy Mission. National Literacy Mission is a mission to the eradication of illiteracy, particularly in the 15 to 35 age group through various means, with special emphasis on the total literacy campaigns. How many pages consume the final draft of NPE? Over 29 pages consume the final draft of NPE.